Day 11, Job chapter 29, 30, and 31. In today's Whispers, we draw wisdom from the heart cry of a man who once had everything, lost everything, and yet held on to integrity. His name is Job. When his lamp shone on my head, and by his light I walked through darkness. Job is admitting that even in times that looked dark, he moved confidently because he felt connected to God. It's possible to walk through dark seasons without stumbling if God's presence is your inner light. For us today, darkness can represent confusion, unemployment, heartbreak, divorce, or disappointment. But Job reminds us, light is not the absence of problems. Light is clarity from God within your problems. Job then goes on to describe his life with an unusual metaphor. I put on righteousness as my clothing. Justice was my robe and my turban. He didn't say, I did righteous things. He said I wore righteousness, meaning it was visible, daily, intentional. Righteousness was not an occasional act. It was his identity. Your character is the first thing people notice, even before your words. In our world of social media, pressure to impress, shortcuts, it's easy to dress in ambition, but forget to dress in integrity. Please, let righteousness be your everyday outfit. Let justice be the thing people associate with you. Let fairness be your branding. Before the misfortunes, people didn't listen to Job because he was rich. They listened because he was refreshing. His words gave direction, comfort, and clarity. He says, They waited for me as for showers and drank in my words as the spring rain. Do people feel better or worse after interacting with you? Some people drain. Some people confuse. Some people scatter storms. But others, like Job, bring rain. Rain brings renewal, growth, cleansing, and new life. Choose to be rain. Speak words that revive, not words that destroy. Job mourns how his reputation has fallen. A base and nameless brood, they were driven out of the land. He's describing mockers, people who once had no status, people who society rejected, yet now they insult him. Life can shift so drastically that those who never knew your struggle feel bold enough to judge your journey. People who never contributed to your growth can suddenly criticize your fall. People with no understanding of your story can feel entitled to comment on your pain. Social media gives microphones to people who should first learn silence. What's the lesson in this? When you are down, even people beneath you may mock you, but that mockery does not define your worth. Further, we read how Job is describing a life where even his talents now express sorrow. The instrument that used to play joy is now playing pain. My lyre is tuned to mourning, and my pipe to the sound of wailing. There are seasons when your gifts still work, but they produce results that reflect your emotional state. You can be gifted and still discouraged. You can be talented but uninspired. You can be capable but broken. Job shows us that even spiritual giants have seasons of heaviness. Kindly note that even sorrow is a season. It will not last forever. The same hands that played mourning will play joy again. Try to be gentle with yourself. You are not weak. You are human. Your sadness is not a failure. It is a phase. For I dreaded destruction from God, and for fear of his splendor I could not do such things. By this, Job is insisting that his integrity wasn't based on fear of people. It was based on fear of disappointing God. In a world where reputation is built on what people say, what social media sees, what co-workers think, we are reminded that the highest accountability is not public, it is spiritual. The fear of God is not terror, it is reverence. It means, I won't lie even if no one catches me. I won't cheat even if I can get away with it. I won't betray trust because God sees motives. Let your standard be divine, not social. Choose actions that honor God, actions that bring peace to your conscience. Today, we end on a sobering statement. Then let briars come up instead of wheat and stinkweed instead of barley. Job is essentially saying, If I am guilty of the sins you accuse me of, then let my life produce failure instead of success. He believed that moral corruption eventually affects life outcomes. He wasn't saying every suffering is punishment, no. But he understood a principle. You cannot plant dishonesty and harvest peace. You cannot plant betrayal and reap trust. You cannot plant corruption and expect stability. If you want wheat this year, plant wheat. If you want peace, sow honesty. If you want favor, sow integrity. Nature doesn't lie. Seeds don't lie. Your life harvest will reflect your choices. Life may not always go as planned. Seasons may shift unexpectedly, but character, integrity, compassion, and faithfulness remain timeless. Even when everything falls apart externally, your inner life can remain standing.